going live on 3 devices. So I'm just trying to make sure I got everything. Boom, 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 boom. And it's Facebook, hey y'all. And it's YouTube, hey y'all, hey. And then it's TikTok. So this morning, I want to talk about pain management. Pain management. And the reason I'm talking about this topic, because I see so many people pain. And they're either suffering or they are in pain or they're headed out of the pain or they don't know what to do with the pain. Nobody talks about pain management, right? And I'm not talking about you go to the doctor, you get they prescribe you some medicine. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about as a result of lifing, there's so many people experiencing pain of receiving a diagnosis of something, terminal disease, right? Or the pain of a lost loved one, or the pain of a relationship ended, or the pain of not knowing, just not knowing. There's so many people in pain, and I want to help you with that. And as I'm listening to one of the groups that I'm in called Bible U, they were talking about the books of wisdom, and I thought that Job is one of the books of wisdom, and so in Job it talks about the theodicy and problem of suffering and the sovereignty of God and human suffering and divine justice. So I said that is where I want to go. That's what I want to talk about because that's a prime example of pain. He lost everything, his kids, his cattle, his everything. He lost everything. And he was in pain. So he teaches us, this is a prime example of pain. How to manage that pain because we're going to go through stuff. Nobody talks about pain management, how to handle that pain, how to deal with that pain, sometimes how to live with that pain and in pain. Okay? So pain management is a profound and deeply personal journey. And the story of Job in the Bible offers rich insights. So I want to share some of those insights with you, okay? And if you look at here, you can check it out for yourself. This stuff I'm about to share with you is in the book. The examples are in the book, right? Basic examples before leaving Earth. Bible. Okay, so Job was okay, so pain as a part of the human experience. I'm talking about pain as a part of pain is a part of the human experience. We are going to go through pain. We're going to experience painful situations. We are. Okay, so let me help you with that. Okay, so Job was a righteous man who experienced immense suffering, not as a result of wrongdoing, but as a test of his faith. His story reminds us that pain is an inevitable part of life, and even the most devout. So his story his story reminds us that pain is an inevitable part of life. Okay, so here's the takeaways from that. Pain doesn't discriminate. Okay, pain doesn't discriminate. It's a universal experience, and understanding this helps us navigate it with a sense of purpose and resilience. Pain, it's a universal experience. We are going to experience pain. We're not going to make it out of here without experiencing pain. So let me help you manage that pain better. Pain management, okay? That's the purpose of this video. That's the purpose of this conversation that I want to share with you that helps me. In life, we're going to go through things. Don't let those things go through you. We're going to go through it. So these are techniques and tools. So it allows you to go through it without it going through you. Because when it goes through you, that pain can be debilitating. That pain can stop us in our tracks. There's so many people right now. Well, I don't know what to do. I'm just so sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm just tired. This is what I'm hearing people say. So I want to help you with this pain management, okay? And we're talking about the story of Job because Job is the prime example of pain. When I say he lost everything, and his wife was like, you ought to curse God and die. And he was like, you sound foolish. He didn't say she was foolish. He said she sounded foolish. So when you're in those painful situations, it is imperative to who you listening to, who you around, what you're watching, what you're consuming, okay? Because you can just believe that stuff and then you can just give up. Don't do that, all right? So, okay, here's the second one. So Despite Job losing everything, his faith, his children, his health, his job, he maintained his faith in God. He questioned, he lamented, but he never abandoned his belief. So let's break that word lamented. Lamented means it was an expression of grief and sorrow. He was grieving though. He lost everything. He had a right to grieve, right? You have a right to grieve when you lose something. And sometimes it's not just people. It's that relationship. It's that job. It's that dream that you thought you wanted. And maybe you no longer want that. So he had a right to lament. Lament is a passion. It's an expression of passion, of grief and sorrow. That's lament. That's what that means. I wanted to break that word down. Okay, so here's the takeaway. In the moments of deep pain, maintaining faith, whether in a higher power purpose or in oneself, I say higher power, but it's up to you, right? Can provide a foundation that helps endure suffering. Okay, let me say that again. In moments of deep pain, maintaining faith in higher power can provide a foundation that endures the suffering. We have to believe in what we can't see. And I know that sometimes we get stuck on, and I just heard it just a few minutes ago. God doesn't give up on what he sees. We give up on what we see. Your breath is promise that he still sees it. Can I say that again? God doesn't give up on what he sees. We give up on what we see. We give up. Not he don't give up. We give up. And here, your breath, you're alive right now. That is a promise. He still sees it. Okay? He still sees it. You still got breath, he still sees it. Even if you don't. I don't know about y'all, but I'm grateful. I'm grateful just for that. Okay? So where was I? Okay, so here's the next example. Job's honesty. Job didn't shy away from expressing his anguish, okay? He questioned God and expressed his feelings of abandonment and despair. So he was like, God, what's going on? Like, why I got to lose everything? Why I got to go through this? And how many times have we said that? Why this happening to me? Why is this? Why I got to go through this? Why all this pain? Why me? Why me? Why me? Like, I found myself in situations like that as well. Okay, I said, why do I got to go through this again? Why I got to go through this rejection again? Why do I got to go through this breakup again? Why do I got to start over again? Why can't I have this now? Why can't I? Why? And I could clearly hear the Holy Spirit say, why not you? Because the things that we're going through can help somebody else. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't from that pain, if it wasn't for the pain. So I don't know. I no longer ask, why is this happening to me? I ask, what is this trying to show me? What is this trying to teach me? Because I want to learn. I don't know about y'all. I want to learn so I can help somebody else. So therefore, that thing that you're going through, you're able to help somebody else. There's somebody else that went through this. Whatever you're going through, I promise you, there is somebody that's already made it to the other side of that thing. And that's what we're here to do. Help each other. We're here to be mirrors, not judging people. Oh, you're going through that again. I can't believe you're doing that again. I can't believe. No, we're here to help other people by sharing our testimony, sharing our messages, sharing our books, sharing our the things that are inside of us. We have something inside of us. From the moment you were born, you were created with a purpose. There is something you have been born to do. And sometimes what I know is he takes us through these storms and through these painful experiences so we can come back and help other people. So we can use our lives as a testimony to help somebody. Let me be your tour. I am your transformational tour guide, Journey to Wholeness. I'm your transformational tour guide. And I'm going to give you a difference between a tour guide and a travel agent. A travel agent is just, all the travel agent is going to do is book the trip for you. That's all they're going to do. A tour guide is going to go with you. Hey, don't go over there. Don't go over there because it's dangerous. Hey, what about that? Don't do that right there. Watch that step. Watch that. Like, don't think about that. Think about that community. Let's talk about what's going on. I know that something is off with you, right? That's a tour guide. It's walking, like grabbing your hand, going with you. Not just say, here's the information. Go ahead on. Be safe. No, a tour guide. I'm a tour guide. So I'm sharing the information that I'm learning in real time. I see so many people suffering. I see so many people stuck. We're going to go through pain. You will not make it out this life without pain. You won't. So I want to help you manage the pain, right? I want to talk about pain management, and the book in the Job is one of the many examples of pain, and how you can use it for your good, right? It don't feel good when you're in it. I'm telling you, sucks when you're in it. But on the other side of it, keep making it to the other side. Don't give up. Okay. So what else? Let me finish this, and I'll come back to any questions or comments in the comment section. Where was I? Okay, so Job didn't shy away from expressing his anguish. He questioned God and expressed his feelings about abandonment and despair. So here's the takeaway. It is important to be honest about our pain, even in our relationships with God. Lamentation is not a sign of weak. It's not a sign of weak faith. It's a way to process grief and maintain an authentic connection with God. You know what? I'm mad right now. And I was listening to a conversation somebody was having, and they said, you know what, I'm mad with God right now. And I was like, that's okay. Haven't we all been there? Haven't we all been mad? Like, why I got to go through this again? Like, why this happened again? Like I just can't believe you. Like, I'm here again. I'm going through this again. Like now this happening now to me. Do you know what I already got on my plate? Now. So anyway, what else was I saying? So the importance of community. Okay, so initially Job's friends came to comfort him, but they eventually blamed him for his suffering, suggesting that he must have sinned. So here's the takeaway. The community's role is crucial in the time of pain. However, not all advice is helpful. Can I say that again? Not all advice is helpful. Some of this stuff may not make no sense to you. If you're not a believer, it won't make sense to you. And I can't make it make sense. That's all I can say, right? So when it comes to community, you want to, their role is the community role is crucial in times of pain. However, not all advice is helpful. Surround yourself with those who offer support, compassion, and not judgment. We can see things differently because we have different experience. We have different perspectives. So you can share your experience. Some say, you know what? Thank you for sharing your experience. Thank you for sharing your perspective. We don't have to agree with each other. We don't have to. And if the sooner we're able to get that conversational intelligence, we can agree to disagree respectfully. Thank you for sharing thank you for sharing your perspective. You don't have to take everybody back. And sometimes people don't want your advice. They don't want. If here's the thing, you got to give yourself the best advice. If you're going to give somebody advice, make sure it's good advice, not from a hurtful, painful place. There's a difference, right? And sometimes they may just want you to listen. They may not even want your advice. They may just want you. I just want you to hear hear my heart, hear what's going on with me. Okay. So where was I? Okay. So then we have Job's restoration. After enduring his trials, Job was restored by God, receiving back more than he lost. Okay, he received back more than he lost. So here's the takeaway. While the restoration might not always be material or immediate, there is often a form of renewal after enduring deep pain. This could be spiritual, emotional, or relational growth. Those painful situations, you're gonna grow out of that. I promise you're gonna grow out of that. You're gonna come out of that a different person as a result of that pain. If it wasn't from that pain, I wouldn't have known I was a speaker. I wouldn't have known I was a coach. I wouldn't have known I was a teacher. I wouldn't have known I was a mentor. I wouldn't have known that. So on the other side of that, it feels like you're losing everything, but you're also gaining things that you didn't even know you needed. You didn't even know it's gonna birth something inside of you that you didn't know was there. And in order to have that thing birth, we have to go through that painful experience. Think about it, you got to be pruned. And when you're being pruned, you're taking away all the things that you think you need, but you don't need. And sometimes those things are people. Sometimes those things are people. He's going to remove those people. And you be like, I don't know why this person, this person's all right. We broke up, or I like to say the relationship was completed. And I don't know why this is happening. And it's happening for a reason. Because in order for advancement, there has to be separation. In order for elevation, there has to be separation. He's going to pull those people away from you that you don't need. He's going to, when I say he's going to transformation has to happen within you. And then it starts happening around you. And sometimes we don't understand that. There are people being removed out of our lives, and we're like, we don't know what to do because we have this attachment to them, and now that they're moved, we don't know what to do. He removes those people because they're not part of your journey. A lot of times we're stuck and stagnant, and we feel like he's not listening because we got the wrong people in our lives, and we don't want to give them up. We don't want to let them go. You have to let them go so you can grow and elevate. Separate, okay? Separation, elevation. There's going to be separation before the elevation. Some people are going to be removed. You got to be okay with that. And in that process, you might feel like you're alone, but you're never alone. Thou art with me. You're never alone. It may feel like that, but you're not alone, okay? So the mystery of suffering in Job's unanswered questions. Despite Job's suffering, God never fully explains why Job had to endure such pain. Instead, God reveals his omnipotence and the limitation of human understanding. Okay, so here's the takeaway. Not all suffering has a clear reason. Okay, part of stewarding pain is accepting the mystery and trusting in the process even when we don't know all the answers. Here's our problem. We want to know the answer. Why is this happening to me? Why am I going through this? And sometimes we just don't know. I don't know why that happened. That terrible thing happened to you. I don't know why. I can't explain that to you. I cannot explain that to you. But I do know it's a part of the process. We got to trust the process even when we don't have all the answers. We're not going to have all the answers. You won't. You got to be okay with not having all the answers. Okay? That's the thing about faith. It's like covering your eyes and taking a step. You don't know. You don't know what's on the other side of that. You got to keep stepping. You keep stepping. That's what faith is. It's covering your eyes, knowing that he knows best. Because if left up to us, we would have married that person. We would have did this person. We would have did this job. We would have did all the things that would not have worked. They wouldn't have worked. People be like, what's your goal? What's your goal? I am surrendering to the flow. Whatever he has planned for me, that's what it is. Do I know what it is? I don't. I surrender to it. I surrender to the flow. There are people contacting me about speaking and different things. I'm surrendering to the flow. Okay, because I had all these big bodacious goals and wasn't none of them working. I felt like I was just busy being busy and wasn't accomplishing nothing. So I surrendered to the flow. Your will, your way. I trust it. I trust him. Period. That's it. So personal transformation through pain, Job's growth. Through his suffering, Job's understanding of God deepened. He moved from knowing about God to experiencing God in a more profound way. Okay? Here's the takeaway. Pain often leads to personal transformation. It can deepen our wisdom and compassion and understanding of life complexities. Okay? Hope beyond pain. Job's hope. Despite his overwhelming loss, Job's story ends with hope and restoration. That's how your story can end. With hope and restoration. Okay? Even in the darkest moments, there's always hope. Stewarding pain management, okay, involves holding on to a belief that pain is not the end of the story. Pain is not the end of your story. I need you to say that. Pain is not the end of my story. Pain for me was a passport. My pain was a passport out of that place to the next place and the next place and the next place. I turned that pain into my platform. What you see today is a result of that pain. So I am the evidence that pain is not the end of your story. It's not. Don't give up in the middle of your story. Don't give up in the middle of that pain, because pain is not the end of the story. It's not. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care what nobody says about me. It doesn't matter. It matters what he says, not anybody else. People say all kind of slick things all day long. and that's just what's going on within their heart, don't take it personally. I don't take it personally from people I don't know personally. Just don't. The people, random strangers, will drive by with the most negative, ugly comments. Don't let it affect you. Don't let it affect you. Because people are hurting. They're in pain. And when you're in pain, that tongue is lethal. It is. You say anything. You might do anything to anybody, including yourself. Pain is not the end of the story. It's not. Pain is not the end of your story. Don't give up in the middle of that thing. Make it to the other side, because it's beautiful over there. There's somebody that needs your help. And only they can receive that from you. There are people only that only can hear from, that are assigned to me. There are people that are only assigned to you. And in your pain, your story is like a lighthouse. And they keep bumping up against that rock. They need to see your lighthouse to know that, you know what? This ain't the end of my story. This is not the end of my story. Pain is not the end of my story. Pain is not the end of your story. So if you're in pain right now, if you're going through that painful situation right now, I want you to know that that is not the end of your story. It's not. So these points help convey a profound lesson from Job's story about managing pain and offering comfort and wisdom to those who may be going through difficult times. So if you're going through a difficult times, check out Job. I mean, his story, my goodness, he lost everything. His kids, his animals on his farm, like he lost so many different things, and he didn't give up. He did not give up. And you shouldn't give up too either, because pain is not the end of your story. I just want to keep saying that, because that right there, that's it. That is the purpose of this video, to let you know it is. His story is amazing. His wife was like, you ought to curse God and die. He was like, you sound foolish, right? But we can see how I can understand where those words come from, because they lost everything. And it was like, what's going on? What's going on? But he had to have, he felt all those things too, but he also kept his faith. He also never gave up. He also, and he kept going. Okay? He was mad. Yeah, he was mad. You think he wasn't mad? Wouldn't you be mad? Okay? Make it to the other side, because pain ain't the end of your story. It is not the end of your story. And there are detailed books on wisdom. Okay? And Job is one of them. Proverbs is one of them. Ecclesiastic is another one. Song of Solomon is one. Psalms is one. Lamentations is one. So if you know you're going through a hard time, and sometimes when you're going through a hard time, sometimes you can't talk to nobody because they can't help you no way. Like, we gotta be mindful when we're going through this hard time. Be careful whenever you're going through a hard time. Be careful who you express that to. If you're expressing that to somebody else going through a hard time, well, girl, you know what? I'm going through it too. I'm just so, it'll just be negative. And that's not what, you don't need to be bumping up against that other pain. Pain and pain do not need to be bumping up against each other. Need to get with somebody that's going to speak hope, speak faith, speak love, speak truth. Help shine a light on in that dark place. Okay? Be mindful who you're listening to. Be mindful what you're watching. Be mindful where you're going. Be mindful of your conversation. You got to be mindful of these things when you're in that painful place. It's like a pit, okay? You got to be mindful of that. There's somebody that can help you out of that pit, right? Somebody going to shine that light. Somebody, you know what? Let me tell you what. I was down there too. Let me tell you, you're going to get out of there, because that right there, that pit is not the end of your story. It's not. It's not. I'm here to tell you that it ain't. I mean, you ain't got to believe me. You don't gotta believe me. Like, you don't. It don't matter. I know. And this is where I am. This is what keeps me sane. What keeps me sane is staying in my word. Knowing the truth. Knowing that and believing that. It ain't for everybody, but it's for somebody. That's me. That's my story. That's what I do. That's what I stand on. This is my foundation. Not the world. Not people. Because they finicky. They ain't stable. No. The word. The word. That's it. That's all I wanted to share. So that's all I wanted to say. I stopped by here to say pain management. Job, prime example. The prime example. I gave you so many examples just from Job. And there are a plethora of others. Okay? That's all. That's all I wanted to share with y'all this morning. Because so many people are in so much pain. In our world is so much pain and suffering. It's so much pain. I wanted to give you some information to help you manage that pain. Because you're gonna go through painful situations. You're gonna go through painful experiences. Pain is inevitable. Pain is inevitable. Okay? That's all I gotta say. It's a deeply personal journey. And the story of Job in the Bible offers rich insights. Okay? And the word says yes, we need to know to cope with our pain. Yes, that's it. You want to know how you cope with your pain? It ain't drugs, it ain't alcohol, because those things are temporary. As soon as that alcohol wear off, as soon as that high wear off, the pain's still there. It's not going anywhere, okay? So here is how you manage it. That's all. That's it. He only questioned God once, and he reached his breaking point. He stayed true and faithful without question longer than any of us could have. Yep. Because had that stuff happened to us, we probably been still in the bed right now. We probably been in a mental hospital if we had went through the stuff that he went through. I'm talking about everything. He lost everything and never gave up. So pain is not the end of your story. That's it. I hope y'all have an amazing day. I hope this was helpful. I hope you share it with somebody who may be having a hard time. I hope you share it with somebody, period, because we all gonna be in this place. If we're not, we're headed to it. If we're not, we may be just numb. But we're all gonna experience this. We are. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. Managing pain is profound and it's deeply personal. It's deeply personal. That's it. The story of Job offers rich insights. I would say start there. And then you got Proverbs, you got Ecclesiastics, you got the Song of Solomon, you got Psalms, and you got Lamentations. And lamenting means passionate expression of grief and sorrow. Okay? That's all I have, y'all. I hope y'all have an amazing day on purpose, and I hope you stay in peace. And I hope this pain management helps you manage your pain, because it's a part of life. It just is. Sucky as it is. That's all I got. Until next time, I'm complete. I love you, and you can't do anything about it. Have an amazing day. Peace. Bye, Facebook. And bye, YouTube. I was like,